Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
New information tonight after police swarm an area just east of Carl Ben Eielson Middle School today, finding a woman with multiple stab wounds. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. Police detained 3 people and took them downtown for questioning. The only person arrested so far in connection with the incident is 30-year-old Richard Torres. Police found him outside the home where the stabbing is believed to have occurred. He had a long-bladed knife, but police say it was not used during the stabbing. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric has the latest details for us.
Almost a dozen units swarmed to 1442, but it wasn't originally for a stabbing. The call was for someone breaking out windows in a house. It was only after officers got on scene they found a woman with multiple stab wounds. Chief Todd calling them fairly significant.
The female was given medical attention, but also told us that there may be other stabbing victims inside that residence.
Officers went into the house, sweeping and securing while looking for more victims, finding none. 3 people sit in the back of patrol vehicles as our cameras are there. Police telling us Richard Torres is arrested and charged for having a concealed knife.
Only to say that they all seem to know each other.
Chief Todd says they don't yet know the relationship between the 4 people. He adds nearby Carl Ben was not put on any sort of lockdown either. Neighbors didn't want to talk on camera, but did say this was a quiet street and things like this just don't happen in their area. And it's true. A quick check of the crime reports map provided by the Fargo police shows the nearest incidents are actually at the middle school and some blocks to the north. Fargo police tell us the next step in their investigation is to obtain a search warrant for the house to find the weapon that was used and any other evidence for their investigation. In Fargo, Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
Police said late Tuesday they're still investigating to see if the other people questioned and detained are suspects. Police found a man's lifeless body early this morning at a South Fargo home under construction. They're saying his death is not suspicious and most likely a medical situation. Police say it was about 7 this morning when they got the call. They tell us the man is not homeless and was supposed to be working at that construction site. They add the man's death was not construction related, and nearby construction workers witnessed everything this morning.
Everything seemed casual yesterday, but pulled up today and there was, I think, 5 or 6 cop cars. And I just wondered what was going on. And finally I seen an ambulance pull up and seen him pull a person out.
The man's body was sent for an autopsy to determine his cause of death. New for you now at 5, the Bemidji Police Department is asking for your help in finding these people. Detectives have investigated several burglaries at business locations where alcohol, video games, and firearms were stolen. If you're a business owner in Bemidji, police want you to take extra precautions because the same method of breaking glass and entering the building has been used in all instances. In all the cases, the suspects are wearing hooded sweatshirts and gloves with their faces covered, and they're carrying backpacks. Anyone with information regarding these crimes is asked to contact the Bemidji Police Department at this number, 218-333-8396. A bit wet out there today and cloudy. And what's this? We hear of some parts of the state getting snow. Let's head right over to Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson for the latest. Hutch.
We warned you about it a little bit yesterday. Not a lot of snow, but it is actually accumulating in parts of the central Dakotas as we speak. Some of this snow shifting into northeast North Dakota, at least indicated by radar. We have everything from thunder and lightning throughout our area, just off to the north and east of Bemidji, to some rain showers, drizzle, and yes, even a few flakes. If you see some flakes in your area up there in Cavalier County, snap a photo and upload it to valleynewslive.com and share it with us there. We'd love to see your shovel trouble. Temperatures are already in the 30s in the western and central Dakotas, holding on to low 40s here in Fargo, and we'll stay in the low 40s for the remainder of the evening. A brisk northwest wind, periods of sprinkles, but I say those sprinkles in Fargo for the vast majority of the time will stay liquid here in the FM area.
We promise we won't gloat when we get those photos because it'll be here soon.
Right, yeah, all
we'll
of us will be in the same plight. Yes. We just want to see how plighty it is.
Yeah,
yes.
plighty, sure. Thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
A Hawley family is trying to rebuild their life after a house fire destroyed their home. We first told you about the fire on Thursday. It started from a heat lamp in the bathroom and caused significant damage. The homeowner spoke with Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop about her biggest concern and what all people should know during this time of year.
That started in that light fixture right there. And we got out okay, so that's the big thing. Houses can be replaced.
Jody Lean remembers placing her disabled son in the wheelchair and pushing him out of the house with 3 other kids behind her while the house was on fire.
Once the shock and the adrenaline wears off, then the tears come. And it's just a little bit more every day, like the kids will realize that, that's gone.
Photos show extensive water and smoke damage throughout the home, with the ceilings even caving in. Lean says she's thankful for the fire crews and their work with saving a few special items.
My fiance had an old picture hanging at the end of the hall of one of, I think it was his great-great-grandpa. They brought that out. They threw a bunch of the kids' stuff on the bottom bunk, and probably knowing the ceilings were going to cave in.
Donations of clothing and food came pouring into the family just hours after they became homeless.
It touched your heart. It was, when we saw all that afterwards, it was just incredible.
A local hotel is allowing them to stay for a month so they can get on their feet. But Lean is trying to figure out her next steps.
I can't imagine being anywhere else.
She wants her and her children to stay in the Holly community.
That's our big concern right now, is we don't know where we're going to stay where all of us can fit. Because my son needs his own room because he has a nurse there all the time. We have a trailer on the property, but there's not enough room for all of us, so we might have to be split up.
Lean says she has advice for others because she doesn't want to see anyone go through this.
I would say when you turn your heat on for the first time, stick around for the first few times. When you smell that dust burning off, don't turn it on and go to bed, or don't turn it on and go to work. Stay there.
In Holly, Minnesota, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
Lean is working with the insurance company and says she knows the fire could have been worse if it wasn't for the quick response from the volunteer fire departments. A Fargo man is in the Grand Forks jail after police say he was threatening people at All True Hospital. Court documents state 55-year-old Robert Tripp admitted he was going to shoot people. They say Tripp threatened a black male, saying he would shoot him in the head, take care of him, just like over in Iraq. The documents also say Tripp said he had dynamite in a bag he was carrying. He was arrested and remains in jail. The funeral of this man, 19-year-old David Grotberg of Fergus Falls, has been set for October 18th at 1 in the afternoon at Crossroads Church in Fergus. He was killed last week after a hit-and-run accident in Waco, Texas. For information on his visitation, head to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. 2 women were arrested today in connection with an oil pipeline protest near Clearbrook, Minnesota, that officials say could have ended with tragic consequences. It was part of protests in several states where environmental activists say on social media were held to avert climate catastrophe. They say they are standing with Standing Rock and oppose the Dakota Access Pipeline. The names of the 2 women arrested near Clearbrook will be released once formal charges are filed. They posted their actions live on Facebook from this control valve station near Enbridge's pipeline's distribution center at Clearbrook. Video shows them climbing the fence and turning off a pipeline control valve. What protesters apparently did not take into consideration is that the crude oil is pumped at extremely high pressure through the pipelines. Officials say closing a valve could have extreme consequences.
Could that have caused some type of an explosion or whatever, turning off the valve while it's pumping?
Yeah, it certainly could have been a very dangerous incident. The groups involved in this morning's incidents claim to be protecting the environment, but their actions alone are inviting an environmental incident.
Gustafson says Enbridge was able to shut down the pipeline before protesters closed the valve. We have some new information now on a story we first brought you last night. The North Dakota Highway Patrol has released the name of a man killed in a crash on I-29 north of Grand Forks. The victim is 46-year-old Brent Kimball of Jamestown. It happened on I-29 about 23 miles north of Grand Forks yesterday morning. Troopers say Kimball was driving north on the interstate when his vehicle went into the median and hit the concrete support for an overpass. Kimball died at the scene. The crash is still under investigation. The Minnesota State Patrol says 2 people are dead after a crash in Burnsville following a police chase late last night. One of them is a mother of 5 who was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. State Patrol says the driver of a Chevy Astro van hit another vehicle and fled the scene. The victim called 911 and was able to provide a detailed description of the van and a license plate number. That's when Apple Valley squads, along with Burnsville squads, joined in the pursuit. After an 8-mile chase, the suspect crashed into a Toyota SUV, killing the mother of 5 and himself. At this time, investigators are still trying to determine his identity. It is serious business. It's practice, but you don't see smiling faces or workplace practical jokes. We're taking you this evening to the Emergency Operations Center in Moorhead. This is where a search for a missing 15-year-old girl is being coordinated. In this scenario, the teenager has been kidnapped. CART is in charge of this exercise. CART stands for Child Abduction Response Team. It's a regional group of law enforcement officers which is mobilized in the event of the unthinkable.
It allows us the opportunity to be able to ensure that what we have on paper actually does in fact work. You run into natural glitches that happen. It may be a radio channel that isn't operating correctly, so you have to make adjustments just like you do in real life. This is that opportunity for us to be able to be better prepared for something as terrible as this.
This exercise ended successfully, and with the lessons learned today, should the need arise, officers say they are better prepared for a real successful outcome. Just when you're ready to dig into that cookie dough ice cream, there's a recall. Still ahead tonight, we've got details on the flavors.
As mentioned in the forecast yesterday, temperatures in the 40s all day today. Showers of rain and drizzle, some areas of fog across the valley. Gray skies to continue. I'll tell you who will see a few flakes in the forecast. Coming up right after this.